Hey guys, Sean Berger here at the Sports Quotient. With just under 2 weeks left until the start of the college football season, I'm here to rank who I think the top 10 players in the SEC are. At number 10 to start the countdown, I have Jake Matthews, senior offensive tackle, Texas A&M. Matthews could arguably be the best offensive tackle in the country. He's the son of NFL Hall of Famer Bruce Matthews, and he's definitely lived up to the expectations. He's going to be moving from right to left tackle this year in order to replace Luke Joeckel. However, with his talent, leadership, and experience, the Aggies should have one of the top offensive line in the conference this year. At number 9, I have Antonio Richardson, junior offensive tackle, Tennessee. Richardson is perhaps the most gifted player on what could be the nation's best offensive line. He's one of the most consistent tackles last season, and he helped slow down two of the SEC's best pass rushers in Jarvis Jones and Jadeveon Clowney. He's already been named to the Outland and Lombardi Trophy preseason watch list, and although he's got tremendous size, he can move very well. He could end up also moving into the top few picks in the first round of next year's draft. At number 8 is Cyrus Kouandjio, junior offensive tackle, Alabama. Kouandjio is also another guy that could wind up being the top offensive tackle in the country. At 6'6", 310 pounds, this guy is a monster with tremendous upside. He could end up being a top 5 pick in next year's NFL draft. He's a prime reason for why Alabama's been so dominant with their rushing attack. He only allowed 3.5 sacks last year, giving A.J. McCarron plenty of time and protection in the pocket. At number 7, I have C.J. Mosley, senior linebacker, Alabama. Mosley could have easily entered the NFL draft this past spring, but decided against it in order to help Alabama try to get a third consecutive national title. A consensus first-team All-American, Mosley's racked up 211 career tackles, including 107 from last year alone. He's also become a key part of the Tide's pass coverage, as he's racked up 5 interceptions total in his career, including 3 returned for a touchdown. At number 6, I have the redshirt senior quarterback from Georgia, Aaron Murray. Murray is one of the most often underrated quarterbacks in college football. Many people don't notice the fact that he's the only quarterback in SEC history to have thrown for 3,000 yards 3 consecutive seasons. He may also have a chance to break another SEC record this year, as he's got 95 touchdowns thrown. He's just short of breaking Danny Werfel's SEC record of 114. And after coming up just short of beating Alabama in the SEC title game last year, you can bet he's hungry to finally get some hardware of his own. At number 5, halfway through the countdown, we have T.J. Yeldon, sophomore running back from Alabama. This season, a year after being half of one of the best running combos in all of college football with Eddie Lacy, T.J. Yeldon's going to have the spotlight to himself. In almost any other conference, Yeldon would probably be the top running back. And as a true freshman, however, he did run for 1,108 yards on 175 carries. He also racked up 12 touchdowns. He also proved that he can be dangerous catching the ball out of the backfield, having caught 11 passes for 131 yards. There's no doubt Yeldon's going to be counted on a lot this year by Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide, but with A.J. McCarron as the quarterback, it's going to make his job a whole lot easier. Speaking of A.J. McCarron, I have him number 4 on my list, and he's a senior from Alabama. It could be debated that perhaps maybe he should be the top quarterback on this list after leading the Crimson Tide to another BCS title. I mean, there's no doubt he's an exceptional passer. He had 30 touchdowns last year and only 3 interceptions. But he's going to be tested this year as Alabama goes in to face Johnny Football at Texas A&M. However, he's got great leadership skills, and he's going to have no problem leading this team to another great season. At number 3, I have Todd Gurley, sophomore running back from Georgia. Gurley is without a doubt the best runner in this conference, and anyone who questions that needs to go look at what he did against Alabama in last year's SEC title game. He racked up 122 yards on 23 carries, and he scored twice. If he can do that against the national champs, then it's going to be interesting to see what he can do against lesser opponents this year. And with that performance in mind, don't forget, Gurley led the SEC in rushing as a freshman with 1,385 yards last year. So at number 2 on the countdown, we have Johnny Football Manziel, redshirt sophomore, quarterback, Texas A&M. Many of you think, well, why is Manziel number 2? Why isn't he number 1? He won the Heisman last year as a freshman. Trust me, the guy at the top of this list is a complete beast and an animal. There's a reason why he's number 1. Back to Manziel, though. Manziel is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in all of college football, if not the best. With his superb ability to be an outstanding playmaker, it's going to be fun to see what kind of heroics he can pull off this year as well. His stats last year were tremendous, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can repeat this year, even with his experience. At number 1 now, I have Jadeveon Clowney. The guy is an absolute beast. He's a junior defensive end from South Carolina. This guy is an animal. I mean, is it really a surprise that he's number 1 on this list? I mean, he's probably the most exciting player to watch in all of college football on the defensive side. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the crushing tackle he made against Michigan last year at least a dozen times, if not more. He would have been the top pick in this year's draft had he been eligible. And this past season alone, to prove his worth, he had 13 sacks and 23.5 tackles for a loss. You can make the argument that maybe Johnny Manziel should be number 1 on this list. However, Clowney is an absolute star, and he's going to be really fun to watch this year, and he's the most electrifying player in this conference. And once again, there's my countdown, 1 through 10, or 10 through 1. Number 10, Jake Matthews. Number 9, Antonio Richardson. Number 8, Cyrus Kouandjio. Number 7, C.J. Mosley. Number 6, Aaron Murray. Number 5, T.J. Yeldon. Number 4, A.J. McCarron. Number 3, Todd Gurley. Number 2, Johnny Manziel. And number 1, Jadeveon Clowney. I want to say thank you guys for watching, and have a great season.